Good morning students. Today in this video we'll learn how to handle the mouse event. We use mouse for various purposes. We use mouse to click on some button. We use mouse to click on some link. Sometimes we use the mouse to select certain amount of content. So when we perform these actions, the event which is generated is nothing but a mouse event. So we'll learn how to handle the event generated by a mouse. As you can see on the screen, there is some applet. You can see a message as mouse exited because my mouse is not on the applet. So it is showing the message as mouse exited. Now when I take my mouse cursor on the applet, it will show a message as mouse entered frame. So I have taken the mouse on the applet, so it is showing mouse entered frame. Now I take back mouse away from the applet, it will show the message mouse exited the frame. So it means when you come on the applet, when you take your mouse cursor on the applet, it will show the message mouse entered the frame, and when you take the mouse cursor off the frame, it will show the message mouse exited the frame. Also, one more thing. When I take my mouse on the applet, it shows the message as mouse entered frame. But when I left click the mouse, now I am clicking the left button of a mouse, so it showed you clicked mouse. I'll repeat again, you clicked mouse. After you clicked mouse, there is a message you pressed mouse, because when we click, it is press plus click thing happening. Okay, so when you click, it shows the message you pressed mouse and then you click mouse. Press and click means you are pressing the button, but actually you are performing a click action. So when you click on the left button, it shows you pressed and then you clicked. Now suppose if I want to select some data. Generally we do a selection, so we click and then drag it and then release it. So the message, I'll do the similar action and we'll see what message it is showing. So now I have pressed, I have hold the left button and I am dragging, and now I am releasing. So it is showing you released mouse. So when I click and hold, it is showing you pressed. When I take the mouse cursor somewhere else and then leave that, it is showing released. So when you click and hold, it is pressed. When you drag and leave somewhere, it is released. So here it is showing 5 different states of a mouse. What are the 5 different states? One is mouse entered. Then I am taking the cursor away from the frame, so it is you exited the mouse. Now I am bringing it back on the screen, so you entered. Now I click, so it is showing you pressed and then clicked. If I click and hold, it shows you pressed. When I release the hold, it shows you released. So pressed, drag it, release. Press means you are holding the left button, you take the cursor somewhere else and then you release. So these are the 5 different states, which are nothing but entered, exited, pressed, released and clicked. So now we'll learn the code to create such a program. So here is the code. As we are creating an applet, so we are importing the package related to applet. Then no such components we are using, so it is a basic applet with a AWT component. So import AWT, and we are handling the event generated by mouse, so we are importing the event package. We are not adding any component on the applet, so it is the very simple program. It is just a string which we are displaying on the applet. So this is the applet code. This is a class, public class. The class name is applet MouseListener. Again extends applet. And which event we want to handle in this program? We want to handle the mouse event. So we have to implement the MouseListener. So implements MouseListener. Whichever event you want to handle in a program, you have to implement that listener. In the previous thing we have seen, we were handling action events, so we implemented action listener. Here we are handling mouse event, so we are implementing MouseListener. So MouseListener is an interface, so we are implementing it. Now as this is an applet, it is supposed to have the init method, but before init method we are creating a string called str, which is empty in the beginning, and it will have the different messages based on the different actions we perform with the mouse. So it is empty. Then there is an init method. In init method we are not creating any component, we are not adding any component on the applet, but simple thing which we want is, we want this applet to handle the mouse listener. So we need to register the applet with a mouse listener. See, यहाँ पे mouse listener, mouse event is not generated by clicking on some item. It is generated when you perform some action with a mouse on the applet. So the entire applet has to register with a mouse listener. So instead of writing any component name, we are simply adding the listener. So we are writing add mouse listener and then this. This is nothing but this applet. So this method is necessary. It is used to register the applet with the mouse listener. So anything with the mouse, if happens on the applet, it will handle it. So within init there is only this single line of code. Okay. So within init you have to register the mouse listener. Now our second step is to implement all the methods of the mouse listener. Now as we have discussed, the mouse listener has 5 different methods. So we are supposed to implement all 5. So we need to override all the 5 methods of a mouse listener. So the first one is public void mouse pressed, and in bracket mouse event e. So mouse pressed. When you press the mouse, what message you want? I'm pressing the mouse. What is the message coming? You pressed mouse. So this is the thing we want to keep in the string. str equal to you pressed mouse. And we call the paint method by calling repaint. Because the string is displayed using a drawString method, and drawString method can't be written inside any listener method. So we are just simply setting the string text as you pressed mouse and calling the paint method. Now the second method is public void mouse released. You need to be very careful about the method names, M small r capital, and the object is mouse event. What message we want? When we click, hold and then drag and then release, the message is you released mouse. So you released mouse, and again calling the paint method via repaint. Now the third method is mouse click. Mouse clicked, ed. In every method at the end there is a ed, and mouse event e. What message we want? str equal to you clicked mouse, and again calling repaint. Next is mouse entered. Now I am taking my mouse cursor on the applet, so it is showing mouse entered frame. So public void mouse entered, and the string is set with a text as mouse entered frame, and we are again calling repaint. Now the last method, when I take away the cursor from the applet, the method which is invoked is public void mouse exited, mouse event e. Setting the text with string with the text mouse exited frame and calling the repaint method. Now after overriding all these 5 methods, which all 5 methods? Mouse clicked, mouse entered, mouse exited, mouse pressed and mouse released, we are now supposed to write the paint method. So here is the paint method. In paint method you don't have to write a lot, you just need to use one method, which is a drawString method. So public void paint graphics g. Why a drawString method? Why you need a drawString method? Because you want to display this text on the applet on some particular position. So for that, to display any content, any string content on the applet, we need to use the method drawString. So g is nothing but a graphics object. G dot draw string, and in bracket you are supposed to pass three things. There are three arguments. The first argument is the text which you want to display. This str. This str will vary each time different method is called. So when you click, it will go to click method and the str will have you clicked mouse. When you entered, it will call the method as entered and it will have the text as mouse entered. And the next two arguments are nothing but the position of the text, where you want to position this string on the applet. So this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. So on the x-axis 75 points away you want to display the string, and on the y-axis 150 points down you want to display the string. So draw string method has three arguments. One is the text, second is the x position, and third is the y position. So with this program, similar kind of output can be achieved. Now we'll quickly compile the program and run to see whether it gives the proper output or not. First we'll compile, then we are running. I'll just increase the size of the applet. Now I'm taking the cursor on the applet, so mouse entered frame. So mouse entered method is invoked, string is changed, and paint method is called. When I take the cursor away from the frame, mouse exited method is called, string is set to mouse exited frame, and paint method is invoked. So with every method of a mouse listener which we have overwritten, paint method will be called. Then only the immediate effects you can see, immediate changes you can see. Pressed, clicked, press, release, press, clicked, press, released, entered, exited. Okay. So this was all about handling mouse listener methods and overriding all the methods and performing some action based on the action based on whether we have clicked, whether we have pressed, released, dragged, based on that.